Inhale, strong legs, raise the hands overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. Now coming into tree pose on the left hand side, rooting all four corners of the right foot. Inhale, bend the left knee, flex the left foot. So take your choice of position here, drawing it either into the calf muscle, the inner thigh, or keeping it on the floor in the arch of the right foot. Cross the hands a separate way in front of you this time. As you inhale, raise the hands overhead. As you exhale, heart center open, hands in Shiva Mudra. Inhale, feel that length in the spine. As you exhale, enjoy that floating, letting go feeling. Inhale, try not to raise the shoulders here, keep the shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, heart center open. Return the left leg to the front position. Inhale, soften the right knee. Exhale, reaching back for Virabhadrasana 3. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw in the bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Now soften the right knee, coming down into standing splits, pointing the left foot, drawing the stomach close to that right thigh. Inhale, bring the left foot down, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Coming down to a seated position. Now you have variations in Navasana. You can either have extended legs, you can take your hands behind your knees, you can have bent legs, you can extend the arms. It's truly your choice on how you're feeling today. Make sure that you're drawing Mula Bandha area in, so the pelvic floor you're lifting in and upwards. And then as you exhale, we're going to take a low boat pose. So we're just working the stomach muscles here, which will become obvious for a later pose. Inhale again from low pose. Come back up into normal Navasana. Now, you're going to drop your legs down, cross them in front of you, take your hands down by your sides, and just feel that you're lifting your bottom up off the mat, so you're pushing some weight into your arms. Now, you can take the blocks as I'm doing here. If you're quite advanced, you can lift both feet up, crossing them in front of you. You can do whichever variation you choose here. But I want you to get the feeling that even if you're not lifting your bottom up at all, that you're at least taking some weight in your arms, just to build up the strength in the arms. Now pick both feet up. Your choice here, you can take a vinyasa as I'm doing, or you can just come back into downward facing dog, taking a breath here. All the time opening the back of the legs, taking the heels further towards the mat, lifting your kneecaps upwards so you're protecting your hamstrings. And now come back down onto the mat again and skip back up into Navasana, boat pose. Try and keep the heart center open. Keep with your breath, inhale, exhale, coming down to low boat pose. Keeping the strength, the fire in the body. You'll feel this in your belly area tomorrow. And then inhale, come back up to boat pose again. Bringing your feet down, we're going to come into a low squat. So another balanced position, really. Your knees are bent, you're squeezing your knees together, you're on the top of your toes, and bring your fingers, your hands, into prayer position. Keep breathing in, breathing out. Coming down onto the mat. Taking your fingertips about 7 inches behind you, fingertips facing your buttocks. Inhale, and you're coming into tabletop pose here. So squeeze the inner thighs together. Don't arch the back too much here. You want to just keep the hips lifted and feel the weight in the arms. Bring yourself slowly back down. That's one variation. Going up again, you can go back into the bent leg position, or if you want to go a little bit further, straight legs. And if you're comfortable with your neck, taking your head back, otherwise just keeping your head tucked in towards the chest, Jala Dala Bandha. Now we're going to come into pigeon pose. So you may need to take a block here under your right glute. So this is a great hip opener. Really eases the IT band on the right hand side. Really just opens up that right hip. So your left hip is approximately parallel with your right sole of your foot. Now you take your own variation here. If putting your hands down on the mat is just far too deep a stretch, then please you can come up to a higher position with your arms just in front of you. If it's too challenging to extend the left leg, you can keep the left leg bent. If you're an advanced practitioner, you can obviously thread the needle with your arms. But for me, I just fancy hanging out in this pose with my arms stretched out in front of me. I'm going to go a little bit further. Again, just be mindful of your body, making sure this isn't too challenging on your right hip. But I'm just reaching back to take hold of the back of the left foot, coming into Ekapada. And then easing off, gently coming back into downward facing dog. Taking pigeon pose on the left hand side. Your choice whether you're going to use a block here. You're trying to draw that left shin approximately parallel with the top of the mat, but as you can see, my leg isn't in that position. I find it more easy on one side than I do on the other. And again, it's your choice how you're going to hang out in this pose. You can walk the right foot a little bit further away from you to increase the stretch on that outer left hip. And you could even walk your fingertips a little further ahead. Just depends how you're feeling at this moment. Now you can remain in pigeon pose, or you can do what I'm doing and you can bend that right leg, coming into Ekapada again. Make sure you're lifting the pelvic floor and the belly in and up. And if you want to open the chest a little bit further, the upper part of the back and the chest, then take hold of the top of that right foot, but pull the foot away from you. Take a deep breath in, extending both legs back out. We're coming out of either pigeon pose or Eka, back into down dog, and taking a hop or just a step back down onto the floor. So we're going to come into some yin poses just before we come into relaxation. So feet are hip width apart, inhale. Raising the buttocks, you're just taking a gentle bridge pose here. Arms are interlaced underneath your back. Now I'm going to take hold of my blocks here. Now you'll see I'm fiddling around here, so try and find a position where it's comfortable for you just to rest the blocks. Keep your hands by your side, your feet are still hip width apart. Your hips are still raised. And just try and find a position where you feel you can just hang out here, balancing on the block. And if you choose to go a bit further, you're going to come all the way up into full wheel back bend position. So some of you may choose to do that. Some of you may just carry on hanging out, resting with the blocks underneath your lower back. And then carefully just bringing yourselves back down onto the floor. For those of you who came up to wheel, you're just putting a block there in that lower back. And if you want to just stretch a little bit further, feeling a really nice elongation all the way along the spine, you're going to put that block underneath your lower back and then just extend the legs out in front of you. All the time, keep tuning back into your breath. Keep keeping your awareness drawing in, just getting close into coming into full relaxation. Now we're going into one more asana, so we're putting both blocks underneath the lower back, if this is comfortable for you. And you're going to raise both legs all the way up. So this is a great position for circulation. I think some people call it the martini pose. So the soles of your feet are facing the ceiling. And you just feel that lovely feeling of the blood rushing from your legs higher than your heart. It floods the organs, your internal organs. It's very good for the skin. It's great for circulation. It's good for flooding the internal organs with nutrients. And just hang out here. If you find it awkward on a couple of blocks, you could always take your feet up against the wall. And then very carefully just return your feet back down to the floor. Have a moment here. Then carefully removing the blocks. Drawing your buttocks back down towards the mat. Now I always find it's really nice to put a block just underneath my head. I find it just takes all the weight off the back of the neck. So hands should be by your side with the palms facing the ceiling, with a little bit of space between the arms and the torso, and your feet naturally just falling out to the side, so no tension. So notice the rise and fall of your belly here. So every inhalation the belly is rising, and every exhalation your belly is falling towards the earth. Find a softness in the jaw. It's very common that we hold tension in our jaw, so if you feel anything here, just slightly open the mouth and let the jaw just fall back into the head socket. Keep returning your awareness back to the rise and fall of the belly. And find a softness across the shoulders. Let that feeling just reach out down the back of the arms out to your fingertips. Find a softness in the upper back, reaching down to the lower back, back of the legs, out to the feet. With every out breath, just feel a little bit heavier and a little more supported by the earth. If you find your mind is wandering, just keep drawing your awareness back to the rise and fall of the breath. Knowing that you have nowhere to go, nothing to do, and in this moment, no one to see. Totally calm. Now I can leave you lying in Savasana. And if you choose, you're going to awaken the body slowly, drawing your knees in towards your chest, doing whatever feels natural for your body in this moment, coming back up into a seated position where the spine is long. Shoulders are drawing down away from the ears. No tension in the neck. Inhale, raise both hands overhead. As you exhale, press the palms together, drawing your fingertips down to your heart center. Inhale, bring energy, breathe life force into the body. As you exhale, get rid of anything that no longer serves you. Last deep inhalation. Drawing the hands to prayer. Rub your thumbs on your forehead, on your lips, and on your heart center. Bow your head to your fingertips. Give thanks for your practice. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.